What's the issue with women and their fascination with bad boys? Why do we have to keep hearing about it in such a repetitive manner? I've been thinking about this a lot, and I want to share some of my ideas with you. Bear in mind that these are just some of the ideas that have occurred to me, and please keep in mind that I do not wish to insult anyone who may stumble into my channel. Why are women so drawn to bad dudes when viewed from the perspective of a woman? It's possible that women are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, wondering where all of the irrational men are. Because men's thinking is typically more linear and reasonable than that of women, most men look for a spouse who has a similar way of thinking to their own. If women are generally more irrational than men, then it would make sense for them to look for a partner who has a similar point of view. If women want the same thing as men when it comes to a relationship partner, perhaps a man they can relate to and understand. And if men want the same thing as women when it comes to a relationship partner, then it would be a man. This is where the common archetype of the bad boy comes into play. He doesn't respect women and always puts himself first in a relationship. He manipulates women by making them feel guilty, and he's frequently incredibly narcissistic. He's selfish, he doesn't respect women, and he constantly puts himself first. Let's say we alter certain aspects of that line so that we can look at it from a different angle. The woman has now arrived. She is self-centered, has lousy manners around men, puts herself first at all times, and employs guilt as a weapon to control men. Don't point the finger at me if you start hearing echoes of your previous girlfriend or spouse in that description. It seems as though the bad boy and your previous partner are a perfect match for one another. What could possibly go wrong in a relationship in which the two people involved are both very narcissistic, egotistical, and manipulative? It is time for you to start behaving like a lady, which is the piece of advice I have for all the gentlemen out there who are still interested in having one-night stands with women. Start modeling your behavior after that demanding woman you loathe and see where it gets you. If you start acting in such a manner and make everything about you, women will be drawn to you like moths to a flame. You just have to make everything about you. Other women are typically socialized to tolerate the presence of other women and will typically maintain polite interaction with them. Because of this, she finds herself unable to resist doing good things for evil guys, no matter how much of a jerk they are. She will, at some point in the future, come to her senses and end the relationship she has with him. However, at that time, most bad dudes already have another lady set up in case they decide to end their relationships. I have outlined other indications that a bad boy gives off to women, and a large portion of it has to do with the way that he treats his friends and classmates. In addition to this evident behavior, I have outlined other cues that a bad boy gives off to women. It's possible that he regularly puts down the individuals who are most important to him in his life. It's possible that he'll lose his temper with his parents or lower the self-esteem of others around him. When a woman sees a man battling for his own selfish needs and desires, she may start to imagine that the man will fight for her needs and desires in the same manner that he fights for himself. This may drive the woman to find the man appealing. It's possible that she'll start to believe that he's the ideal partner for her because he's willing to cause harm to other people in order to take advantage of the resources they possess. After that, all she'll need to do is influence him in order to appropriate some or all of the loot for herself. On the other hand, if a man is polite, then women may unconsciously expect that he will treat other people with respect and hence have a larger possibility of getting walked all over by them. Consequently, he will not be bringing home as much bacon in this scenario. My theory is that women are attracted to intelligent and ruthless bad boys. This is the kind of person who manages the office we have here. He is a complete jerk to his wife and children despite the fact that he is successful in business and brings a good income home to support them. For some reason, women are drawn to failing bad boy types. When girls reach the middle of their 20s, they frequently break up with these kinds of males and begin seeking for corporate asses, but many of them end up settling for better providers instead. I have yet another notion that the corporate structure of this society may have been purposefully built to convert decent males into jerks in order to keep women happy. This theory is based on the assumption that this would benefit women. What's the point of being married to a lovely guy who puts in the effort to make $50,000 a year when the same guy has the potential to make six figures? If he's pushing people around at work, it might not just be the money that women want, but also the status that comes with being successful. This is because if you're a successful guy, you're more than likely willing to piss people off and go out and get what you want without worrying about it. If he's pushing people around at work, it might not just be the money that women want, but also the status that comes with being successful. In a more traditional work environment, if you are outspoken and aggressive, you will most surely succeed and others may be envious of your accomplishments. If a woman is preying on a weak man and being nice to him in order to get access to his resources and get what she wants while pretending to want a relationship or greater intimacy, then it makes perfect sense that many men who are put in the friend zone will tell me that they feel as though they have been taken advantage of by a woman. This is something that many men who are put in the friend zone will tell me. I believe that the archetypal politician who is consumed with his own ego is a wonderful illustration of the kind of man that women desire. Women are drawn to crack-smoking bullies like Toronto Mayor Rob Ford because they have a deep-seated need to be with a man who is similar to him. An excellent illustration of this is Rob Ford. In the presence of his wife, he can do no wrong regardless of what he says or does. She will always support him no matter what happens. We don't know a lot about her, but one thing we do know is that she has her own children, and that her parents look after them. Even though she may be engaged in other activities during the day, it is what her neighbors believe to be the case. She is financially secure for the rest of her life regardless of what transpires with Rob Ford because her family owns a big label and food packaging firm, and more significantly, because her spouse is the epitome of a good man. The fact that he is a successful bad boy is the only thing that matters. The fact that he weighs 300 pounds is irrelevant. When I moved to this area of Toronto 10 years ago, the previous mayor was a man named Mel Min. He was the owner of a furniture store chain known as Bad Boys Furniture, which at the time had 10 sites in and around the greater Toronto area. The mascot of the company is a person serving time in jail. I'm not sure what else could be considered an insult to beta males, but this certainly fits the bill. It's almost as if the store's name is trying to sell the fantasy itself. A woman may boast to her neighbors that she purchased her bedroom set from Bad Boys. When one takes the time to look around, it is immediately apparent that the alpha bad boy players in our society possess everything. Consider the example of Bill Clinton. In spite of the fact that he cheated on his wife while he was serving as President of the United States, she continued to forgive him. It's likely that he's trying to make amends with her by assisting her in winning the election to become the first female president of the United States of America. Despite the fact that he cheated on her for years while he was governor of Arkansas, she remained at his side the entire time. Even though Rob Ford is a crack smoker, allegedly frequents escorts, drives intoxicated, and is verbally abusive because he is a wealthy, all of his transgressions are overlooked. The owner of the Bad Boy Furniture store, Mel Min, was caught having numerous children with another woman while he was married to the woman he is currently with. The majority of alpha male jerks never get into problems of any kind. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the only one I can think of off the top of my head at the moment. Is there anyone else? He was involved with a number of different ladies. He successfully maneuvered his way into the position of governor of California, although he was still legally married to his ex-wife, Maria Shriver. One of the most problematic aspects of these types of alpha male bad boys is the fact that other guys frequently look up to them as role models. When we were younger, how many of us daydreamed about being able to build our bodies like those of Arnold Schwarzenegger? It is projecting an image of society to both men and women that normal and successful male behavior is all about bullying and cheating on your wife, and if you do those things, you'll become a successful politician or business leader. This image is harmful to society because it sends the wrong message to both men and women. The fact that Maria Shriver ended her marriage to Arnold Schwarzenegger is, in my opinion, illustrative of the kind of person she is. Her decision to leave Arnold demonstrates a tremendous deal of strength on her behalf. It's possible that she didn't want to show her sons that their father's behavior could ever be considered appropriate. At this point, all I can do is speculate, but from what I can see, there are at least 3 different options for women to consider when it comes to romantic partners. Losers and bad boys. The beta male providers were powerful alpha males who played the role of bad boys successfully. It's possible that when they're still in their 20s, they date nasty boys and have plenty of amazing sex experiences with those partners. Then, once women have children, they either make do with a beta male provider or they strive to work their way up to an alpha male and find a successful bad boy. The majority of guys are looking for a woman who is moral and logical. Where exactly is this goddess of reason, which a good number of us are having a tougher time discovering than Bigfoot? Is she hiding out in the library, or does she actually have a job at one of the local public schools? I wish I could discuss this topic with you right now, but unfortunately, that is something that will have to be saved for a later video. That one is going to be referred to as good girls. It's possible that the dull and unattractive women are the sane ones, but we just don't see them because they don't stand out. Perhaps they don't bother with wearing cosmetics or worrying too much about how they appear to others. And wait, the media inquired about what Rob Ford planned to provide his wife with for the holiday season. It was probably just money that he responded with. The love of money in women is legendary. If you offer him a couple of $1,000s, he will be satisfied. Rob Ford's approval rating among women has remained unshakable during the entirety of the scandal surrounding his crack-smoking habit. If he wins another term in office, it will almost certainly be evidence that my hypothesis that naughty boys always end up on top is correct.